Hi, hello, my name's Mariah. This is Mariah's Moods. Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video we're going to talk about all of the books that I'm going to try and read in the month of August. Alright, so July was a very bad reading month for me. I was in a reading slump for most of the month, so I didn't get a lot of reading done. But I feel rejuvenated. I feel ready to dive back into reading. I am very excited for my reading plans in August. So essentially, August is going to be the month of romance, but I'm not mad at it. I'm actually very excited for it. I feel like I'm entering my romance era here. Typically, I read fantasy and thrillers, but I've been reading a lot of romance this year, and I've been having a great time. So in August, I have decided to take part in the Romance Readathon hosted by Maggie from Maggie's Books and Stuff. So this is a Bridgerton themed romance readathon, but she was really cool and said you don't have to read specific like historical romance, just really any romance. But I don't have a lot of historical romance. I want to dive into historical romance. I just haven't like dipped my toe in there yet, and I really don't know where to start. So in the comments, if you have any recommendations for a specific author or even just a specific book that you could recommend me to start with when I'm getting into historical romance, I just really don't know where to begin because there are so many. So if you have any words of advice, let me know down below. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into my stack. So this stack is all romance. Most of them are contemporary romances, but I do have one fantasy romance and one, I don't really know if this is romance, but it is like a part of my reading plans, so it is included. So without further ado, let's hop into the August TBR. So the first book that I want to get to in the month of August is going to be One for My Enemy by Olivia Blake. I really don't know much about this. I haven't read any of Olivia Blake's books. I feel like they're all so different, and I just hear mixed reviews like about each individual book. But this one is absolutely stunning. I just love that cover, but also I'm going to be reading it for Becca's book club over at Bex Reads. She has the Black Hat book coven, and this is her August pick, and I'm so excited to hop into this one. All that I know is that this is following two rival witch families in, I think, modern day Manhattan, and basically something happens where these family members have to choose sides, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be aligned with their family. So I'm guessing there's going to be some crossover between these rival families. I'm hoping there's a little bit of romance in here, but I really don't know. But it does say that she weaves an intricate web of love, magic, and rival witch families in New York City. So there could be some romance in there. Either way, I'm reading this and I'm so excited to dive in. Okay, so the next book that I want to read this month is a contemporary romance. This is Sweet Hand by N.G. Pelletier. This is a maybe like a rivals to lovers, or maybe, I don't want to say enemies. I feel like enemies is a little dramatic, but basically these two characters just don't really get along, but they exist in the same friend group. Our main character, Charisse's sister, is getting married to Kieran's best friend, so she is the maid of honor, he is the best man, so they're in charge of planning several events when it comes to the wedding, and so we got some forced proximity involved, and I'm just excited to hop into this one. We've got some baking romance going on here, which I think is going to be really fun, and I'm hoping we get some like cute moments in the kitchen together. But yeah, I'm excited for this one. Okay, so another contemporary romance we have is going to be Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren. After reading Soulmate Equation, I was just like, I want to read more from Christina Lauren, and I know this is a very, very popular one from them. This is, I think, a second chance romance. We have maybe a dual timeline between like young love, and then I think maybe they kind of break off for whatever reason, and as they and when they're adults, they reconnect and kind of have to maybe process what happened when they were younger and how do they move forward. This sounds really, really fun and very, very entertaining, and I'm very, very excited to read more from them. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this one, and this is strictly because of the cover. This is My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. This will be my first experience with Tessa Bailey, but I do know that she's like an elementary school teacher on vacation with her younger brother, and he is like a bounty hunter, and they have to work together, I think, to like solve a murder. So that sounds really entertaining, and I'm hoping that it's kind of funny. Like, I'm hoping I get like Finley Donovan vibes from it. It says that it's a spicy murder mystery, so excited for some spice on this one. Okay, so I'm really excited about this one. This is Mile High by Liz Tomford. This will be my first hockey romance, really my first sports romance, and I've heard such great things. My friend has been telling me to read this for so long, and I finally picked up a copy, and I cannot wait to dive in. We have kind of like, I'm gonna call it aggravation to love. Again, I feel like enemies to lovers can sometimes be a little bit of a dramatic label when it really comes down to a relationship. I think these two just really don't get along at first. We're following our main character, Stevie, who is a new flight attendant for a professional hockey team, and we're following the co-captain, Xanders, who is on said hockey team. And so they kind of like have this like aggravating relationship, but I think it develops into more. I heard it's like he falls first, which I love that. I love that so much. So I'm really excited to hop into this one. I think this will probably be like my first read because I just keep looking at it like, I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, so now we have 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This is a contemporary romance. So this is following Eva and Shane. They kind of like have this like whirlwind week and like fall in love, and for whatever reason they separate, but for over like a decade they have been writing like love letters to each other in their works. They're both authors, which I think is so cool. But I think that they may reconnect as adults, and they have to kind of grapple with what happened over that week and what should they go and do from there. I've heard great things about this, that it's not like some light and fluffy romance, that it really gets into it, and I am really excited about this one. Okay, the next two books are gonna be really fun, hopefully. So I picked up the first two books of the Twisted series by Anna Huang. We have Twisted Love, which is book 1, and Twisted Games, which is book 2. Both of these are contemporary romances. So I think book 1 is a best friend's brother. No, brother's best friend. I always mix that up, but I think it's her brother's best friend. And maybe like a little bit of grumpy sunshine associated with it. So we have Alex and Ava, and that's all I know, but I think it's spicy. From what I hear about Miss Anna, that it's spicy. So really excited to get into this one, but I am very, very excited for Twisted Games. So this one is a bodyguard romance, which I've never read a bodyguard romance, but I love that trope in movies, so I think I'm gonna like it in a spicy book. The only thing I'm a little apprehensive about is it's a princess and her bodyguard, and I'm just like, where does the princess come in? What's happening? I think my fantasy brain wants it to be like a magical princess, but like that's not it. That's not it. But that's okay. That's okay. I'm excited. I've heard out of this, there's 4 books in this series. Out of all 4, I think this one I've heard is the best, or like people love this one the most. So I'm really excited to jump into this one. But I think Twisted Love will be good too. All right, and now for the final book that I will be getting to in the month of August for sure, is going to be for my book club that I meet with in person every Tuesday. We are currently in the process of a reread of ACOTAR, and so we will be doing ACOMAF this month, and I'm so freaking excited. This is hands down my favorite book out of the ACOTAR series, and I have been dying to get into this one. We did ACOTAR last month, and that was really fun. ACOTAR was my least favorite out of the series, but it's like necessary, but it was really fun to reread and like go through with fine-tooth comb to kind of like see those little Easter eggs, and there's tons of foreshadowing and tons of Easter eggs in that, so I'm really excited to see what can we dig out of Academ. So can't really tell you much about what this is because it's all spoilers, but if you have not read A Court of Thorns and Roses, the series, I highly recommend. I think it is a great introduction to fantasy if you are not typically like a fantasy reader. It is a fantasy romance, so it's not going to be, like, there's definitely a plot, and I enjoy the plot, but it's very heavy in the romance, which I think is a great transition if you are looking to get into fantasy. All right, this is a quick little video because, like I said, I kind of already hauled all these and I didn't want to like be repeating myself again. No one wants to watch that twice, right? I wouldn't. But these are all the books that I plan to get to in the month of August. Hoping to get through all of them. Like I said, I am back in the reading mood, so I'm ready to devour these and see if I can squeeze out any extras. Again, if you are someone who reads a lot of historical romance, or even just like read one or two historical romances you really enjoyed, let me know in the comments below because I really want to give it a shot. I just feel overwhelmed by how many authors there are, how many books there are, but I just really, really love the covers on historical romances, and I've just heard great things about them. Like, they're really easy to digest, and I just want to be there. I want to be part of the club. I want to know what you're talking about. So I'm having FOMO when it comes to historical romance. So let me know in the comments below if you have any recommendations. All right, friends, that is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead, like, subscribe, do all of the things. If you like bookish lifestyle content, you are in the right place. I hope you're having a wonderful time and your day is full of good moods and good vibes. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.